Okay, so as we are all aware that we are preparing ourselves for NEET 2021, and you both have cleared 12th class this year, and you are basically preparing for 2021 NEET. So generally, the exam. Bitsy, are you comfortable with Hindi also? Thoda bahut? Are you? If I use one or two sentences in Hindi, you will be able.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable. I've learned Hindi. I can't speak. That's it.
And, so why? Because we North Indians are very used to using Hindi at times. और कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि अक्षता भी ज़्यादा हिंदी better समझ पाती होगी. So I am assuming that I'll be using both Hindi and English both wherever I feel कि when I explain something I do it in English also and then I do it in Hindi also so that both the languages are taken care of. Okay. So this introductory session is about how to prepare for NEET. So see, first I'll inspire you a bit. So see, your dream doesn't have an expiration date. Take a deep breath and try again. So this basically why we are using this slide is assuming that you have already tried for NEET and then you have not been able to. But here the case is different. You guys are preparing it for the first time. But still, you need to understand that the dream which you have seen for yourself for your career is going to continue forever. So you have to achieve that dream rather than leaving it in midway and trying something else. So if you have thought of getting into a medical college, I expect that you guys put in your best effort and get into that. Now let us learn about NEET a bit more. So NEET is a national level medical entrance exam. It is organized to provide admissions in MBBS, BDS, Ayush. Ayush is that Ayurvedic medicine wala, study, veterinary and other medical paramedical courses in India. Paramedical courses as in कि lab assistant or lab technicians होते हैं जो check करते हैं कि the blood samples and other things. So this is all being taken care of. So NEET is an exam, one single exam through which you can get into any admissions in any of these different courses. Now exam frequency, it happens once a year. It is an offline mode, so it's a pen and paper mode. So where you have to that OMR sheets where you have to color the options A B C D में से एक bubble को you have to color it. So that kind of exam mode is there. Exam duration 3 घंटे की होती है. Accepting colleges, there are 539 colleges all over India which accepts the score of this. So once a year, basically, it happens in May, first week or second week. At times, so our whole structure which we will be discussing, that will be starting from now till April end. Okay. Now the competition, there were like 16 lakh around students registered for NEET 2020, out of which 14 lakh 37,000 candidates appeared. This year, the appearing candidates were less. Why? Because of Corona, which is already going on. The pandemic has made it difficult for every candidate to reach the center and take the exam. There are these many, 529 medical colleges, 313 dental colleges. So in total, there are 75,893 MBBS seats which are available, out of which, and then 26,693 dental seats which are available. So people who want to become a dentist, they do this BDS course, Bachelor of Dental Surgery. In MBBS, you already know it's a medicine course basically. Now, if we talk about physics comprises of, these different parts, mechanics, then we have electrodynamics or electromagnetism, then we have optics, thermal physics, SHM, simple harmonic motion, waves, modern physics and electronics, semiconductors basically. So if you see the percentage of question which had been asked in this year's exam, so 30% of the question was from mechanics and around 25% of the question was from electromagnetism. So if you combine this and this together, so you will find that it comes almost 55 to 60% of the question comes from these two topics. So this is very important topic in class 11, and this is very important topic in class 12. So this comprises of electrostatics and then current electricity, capacitors, magnetism, electromagnetic induction, alternating current. So these all, the first book of NCERT, this is being, this whole thing is covered in electromagnetism. So what we suggest is basically if you master these two, your 60% of the syllabus gets over. So our main focus would be in these two. Why? Because this is very scoring and this is very important. And then obviously these topics as well. Why? Because these are more of theoretical kind of thing, modern physics and electromagnetism, waves and SHM. Again, it's a more of theory based paper. And then optics and thermal physics, these have a lot of numericals, but these are easy. So this is easy to do. So if you master this particular topic and this particular topics, topics from these parts of physics, it will be very easy for you. And anyways, out of physics, chemistry and biology, you will find that, all medical students find physics difficult. Why physics is difficult? Because mathematics is the language for physics, right? So mathematics is a language for physics. And because you guys had not taken mathematics, PCB may mathematics you don't take, then in that case it becomes difficult for you, right? I hope you both are from PCB background only. You don't have mathematics also. PCMB, so I don't think you would have taken, right? Am I correct? So mathematics is a language for physics, so it becomes very difficult at times when numericals comes. You feel like it is more of mathematics which you are doing. So you have to first sun this notion that mathematics is very difficult for you and you will not be able to do. So what I'll do is first of all, when we start physics, we take 2 classes for mathematics where we discuss only those portions which are being used for physics to understand physics in a better way. Now, level of questions, if you see in physics, if you see 47% of the question which came this year were easy, 47% were medium, and 6% were difficult. So if you see medium and easy, it's almost 94% of the paper was medium and easy. So if you prepare well for the whole year, you can, attempt 94% of the question paper which is being there. So 6% is difficult, which even if you don't attempt it, 94% is good enough to get you into a good college. Okay. Now, coming to chemistry is comprises of organic, inorganic, and physical. So you will see that mostly inorganic and physical. Inorganic has the most weightage, and then physical, and then the organic chemistry. So you will find that if you master inorganic, is more about learning things. So if you learn properly, you will ace inorganic, and then physical again has numericals here. So if you are good at numericals, you will be acing here as well. Organic again, it's more of by hearting things and learning things. So organic में reaction वगैरह अच्छे से अगर याद कर लेते हैं, तो again it is very helpful for you. Now coming down to the level of question here, so you will find that 60% of the question asked in chemistry were easy, 29% were medium, and 11% were difficult. So if you see in total, you will find 89% of the question either medium or easy. Then coming to biology part, biology is being divided into botany and zoology. So basically in NEET, if you see, out of 180 questions, 90 questions are from biology. Okay. 45 questions are from physics and 45 questions are from chemistry. Okay. So biology is very important. And again, biology there are 2 parts, botany and zoology. Both of them are considered as separate subjects here. So 180 question, each question carries 4 marks, 720 marks. का total paper होता है, out of which 720 marks, if you score 585 plus marks, then you are in a good government college. So government medical college, you will get admissions into this. So why government medical college? Because the fees are proper, the studies are good, and you get a better chance of getting a good job once you have cleared this MBBS degree from government medical college. Hi Satpreet, I was waiting for you. I thought that you will not be there. Satpreet, are you able to listen to me? So these there are two students who are new. So I'm just running through with, the introductory session which you have already attended. So I'll take another 15-20 minutes to run through this, and then I'll start the course which I have to teach. So just you can be patient for 15-20 minutes. सुन लो दोबारा एक बारी, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं वेस्ट करेंगे तुम्हारा, ठीक है? So biology ka, if you see again, 62% of the question are easy, 31% are medium. So, in total 93% again is, in terms easy questions. And biology may you get one more, benefit, that either either you know the answer or you don't know the answer. So you read a question, you will see the option. You don't have to solve anything. Once you have read the answer options, you can directly answer the options. Now, these things we can discuss. Yeah. So, coming to the timetable part, basically what is expected from you guys, at this stage is at least study for 9 hours. That is 9 hours of self-study if you really want to get into NEET. So, 3 hours session. So if you study early morning, 5 to 8, it is very good to remember something. So biology is something which requires a lot of, mugging up. So 5 to 8 p.m., 8 a.m. you can study biology. Then 9:30 to 2 you can attend our tuitions. Then lunch, and then you can study for 3 hours physics and 3 hours chemistry. This is an optional thing for people who are not early risers. तो जो सुबह नहीं उठ सकते हैं वो रात वाला टाइम 11:30 to 2:30 AM वाला टाइम पे अपना पढ़ाई करेंगे. So same thing. So either this or this. So first one or the last one, whatever you want to choose. So this is Monday to Thursday. We generally have our classes, tuitions, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you will use this tuition time also for your self-study. So self-study is the key basically. See, we teachers can guide you, can tell you what to study, kaise padhna hai, ya when you have a doubt, we can solve that doubt. We'll teach you the basics. But jitna practice karenge, more you practice, more your chances to get into NEET increases. So it all depends on how much you are practicing actually. Okay. So any success story is the success story of the student and not of the teacher. Teacher doesn't do anything. Okay. So teacher is someone who will guide you, who will mentor you, who will let you know what to study, what not to study, who will give you a basic of all the chapters, who will give you examples of all the kind of problems which can be there. But more you practice, more your hands-on experience increases, and more is the chance to get into these in your dream college. Okay. Now, so if I talk about, the books which needs to be followed in physics, we'll be using H.C. Verma most of the times in physics to understand the concept as well as do basic examples. Difficult examples here we'll not do from H.C. Verma. Why? Because in NEET, easy questions come and difficult questions do not come. Then we have, understanding physics, objective physics for NEET, which is written by D.C. Pandey. Again, he is a very good author. S.C. Verma is a very good author. And then we have our own study material for practice. We have DPPs for practice. DPP means daily practice paper. So the assignment sheets or practice sheets which we give is known as DPPs. So we use a lot of DPPs. So we'll give you sheets to practice on the concepts which we have discussed in the class. Now I'm sure teachers for biology and chemistry will share what books to follow. What I would suggest is, you should eliminate all these personal distractions as much as possible. Why? Because to crack NEET, to crack any competitive exams, you should not be wasting your time. So, all the TV, video games and mobiles and tabs and, YouTube, internet, social networking sites, Instagram and other things, these should be avoided. More you avoid it, it is better for you. Right? So, time and again, I'll keep on giving you the basic requirements which are being required for preparing, as well as I'll share that video also with you guys where, I took the whole lecture on how to prepare for any competitive exams. You can see that lecture, get motivated. So motivation is the key. As a teacher, if we are able to motivate you to study and to put in hard work, that's it. मतलब उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए. अगर मैं तुम्हें मोटिवेट कर सकूं, अगर मैं तुम्हें इस लायक सोचने पे मजबूर कर सकूं कि भाई तुम्हें अपना 100% देना है, then it is very easy for you to take it forward from there. Okay, so let's start from the class which we have to do from today. So what I'll do, because you guys are new, I'll tell you what we do is, even if you don't take a note of what just try and understand things. Why? Because I'll be sharing all these slides just after the class on the WhatsApp group. So you can, take those slides and take those notes from there and can prepare yourself. Is it clear? So I'll be sharing the PDF after the class. Whatever slides I'll be using, I'll convert it into PDF and will share it with you. So see, mathematics, as I said, is a tool to understand physics. If you don't know basic mathematics, it will be difficult to understand the theorems of physics or the derivations or the questions of physics. So let us start with trigonometry. So there are three things which we'll be covering here. First is trigonometry, basics of trigonometry. Then the second is calculus. So in calculus, we'll be covering differentiation and then integration. So these are the three topics which we'll be covering in mathematics tools. Now, what is an angle basically? An angle is a measure of the degree between, a fixed ray and a moving ray. So this revolves in anti-clockwise direction. We always measure angle in anti-clockwise direction. So we start from this fixed ray and move towards anti-clockwise direction. Then the degree by which we have moved is basically known as that angle. So angle is defined as the amount of revolution that the revolving line makes with the initial position. So this revolving line is OP. The angle by the amount by which we have revolved it or we have moved this line OP from OX is basically the measure of the angle. Now, the whole circle, this whole circle is divided into 360 parts. Okay, each part is basically equal to 1 degree. Okay, so each of the part of a circle is divided into 360 parts and each part is 1 degree. So in a circle, how much angle is there? It comprises of 360 degrees. Now 1 degree is further, it can be divided into 60 small equal parts and each part here is equal to 1 minute. So 1 degree will be equal to 60 minutes. So if you divide 1 degree into 60 parts, each of the part will be equal to 1 minute. Then 1 minute can be further divided into 60 part, and each part is equal to 1 second. So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. ये जो मिनट और सेकंड है, ये वो टाइम वाला मिनट सेकंड नहीं है. इसमें इसको क्या बोलते हैं? आर्क मिनट बोलते हैं. we call it arc minute, and here we call it arc second. Okay, so minute, or you can also write it arc minute and arc second, so that you can differentiate it from actual minute and second. है ना. आर्क मिनट और आर्क सेकंड क्यों यूज करते हैं? क्योंकि हम लोग जो ओरिजिनल मिनट टाइम वाला जो मिनट सेकंड है, उससे इसको डिफरेंशिएट कर सके, है ना. तो ये 1 डिग्री इज इक्वल टू 60 मिनट्स एंड 1 सेकंड इज इक्वल टू 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Now, one right angle we know that is equal to 90 degree, and if you convert it into radians, it is pi by 2. So basically होता क्या है, डिग्री और रेडियन का कन्वर्जन क्या होता है? 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians. See, radians is the SI unit for measuring the angle. डिग्रीज कोई SI यूनिट नहीं है. तो फिजिक्स में जब भी हम लोग यूज करते हैं ना, तो रेडियन ज्यादा यूज करते हैं. इनफैक्ट मैथमेटिक्स में भी 11th-12th में रेडियन ही यूज करते हैं. सो 360 डिग्री इज इक्वल टू 2 पाई रेडियन मीन्स 180 डिग्री कितना हो जाएगा? पाई रेडियंस के बराबर हो जाएगा, राइट. So 360 degree is 2 pi radian and 180 degree is equal to pi radian. Is it clear to everyone? Clear है बच्चों? किसी को कोई डाउट इसमें पूछना है कुछ? सतप्रीत, समझ में आ रहा है बेटा? आप बीच में डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए थे. Satpreet, are you able to listen to me? Betsy, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So now there is one relation which is very useful. Theta is equal to L by R, or angle is equal to arc by radius. Let's say this is angle theta, and when we rotate it by this angle, this is the length of the arc. So this is L, which is called length of arc. This is the radius R. Okay, so or you can write it as small r, because here we are using small r. So theta in radians, angle in radians is equal to length of the arc by radius. So this will give L is equal to r into theta. Length of the arc is radius into angle in radians, or angle in radian is equal to L upon r. So you can remember any of this formula. This is very useful. We'll be using it many a times. Okay, is it clear? So this is one basic thing which is quite useful. First, so angle subtended at the center of the circle, we know that that is equal to 2 pi radians. We saw the 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree. So अगर एक पूरा सर्कल है, तो ये पूरा सर्कल एंगल जो सेंटर पे सबटेंड करेगा वो कितना करेगा सबटेंड? दैट इज इक्वल टू 360 डिग्री. एंगल सबटेंडेड at the center is 360 degree, and that is equal to 2 pi radian, and pi radian is equal to 180 degree, which these two things which we have already seen. Now, how to convert this we'll see later. Right now, how to convert radian into degrees and degree into radian, we'll see. So listen here, to convert degree into radian, okay, what you need to do is multiply by pi by 180. So let's say हमारे पास कुछ डिग्री में वैल्यू दिया हुआ है. आप क्या करोगे, उस वैल्यू को यू विल मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय पाई बाय 180. सो इफ यू हैव अ वैल्यू of angle given in degree, you will multiply it by pi by 180 to get that value in radian. For example, let's say we have got 60 degrees. So 60 degrees, if we have to convert it into radian, we'll multiply it by pi by 180. So this gives us 60 ones are and 63s are. So this is equal to pi by 3 radians. So this is how you convert degree into radian. Is it clear to everyone? किसी को कोई डाउट होगा तो मेरे से पूछ लेना है ना. जस्ट स्टॉप मी एंड यू कैन आस्क दोस डाउट्स. ओके, क्लियर है सभी को? हैज एवरीवन अंडरस्टूड? ओके, so let's go to the next topic now. So we have converted degree to radian. If we have to convert radian into degree, so what we'll do is we'll multiply by 180 by pi to get the value in degrees. Sorry. So to convert an angle from radians to degree, we multiply by 180 by pi. Okay, so to convert an angle from radians to degree, we multiply by 180 by pi. Okay. For example, let's say we have 2 pi by 3 radians. We have to convert it into degree. Then what we'll be doing is 2 pi by 3. We'll multiply this by 180 by pi. So pi and pi gets cancelled. 3 ones are 3 and 60 times. So 60 into 2, 120 degrees. So 2 pi by 3 radians is equal to 120 degrees. Is it clear, bachcho? Okay. Now, so these are few examples, how to convert 45 degree into radian. So what we have done, so if you take 45 degree, you will multiply it by 45 into pi by 180. So 45 4 times, this becomes pi by 4 radians. Okay. Similarly, so 45 degree done. Convert pi by 6 to degrees. So pi by 6 radian to degrees. So pi by 6 is equal to pi by 6 into 180 by pi. You will multiply this. Sorry, divide this. So you will get 30 degree as the value. Now convert 30 degrees. So 30 degree to radian, we have just done it. It is pi by 6 radians. Pi by 3 we can do it if we have to convert pi by 3. So what we will do, pi by 3 into 180 by pi. Pi and pi gets cancelled 60 times. So the answer is 60 degree. Okay. I hope it is clear to everyone, the conversion. So So these are the various values which you need to remember. See, this you have already done in 10th class. So sine, cos, tan, cot, sec and cosec. 0 degree ka, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. Two new columns have been added, one for 37 degree and other for 53 degree. This you have to remember. So sine 37 degree is 3 by 5, cos 37 4 by 5, then tan is sine by cos, you can do 3 by 4, cot, sec and cosec. Similarly 53 degree, if you see sine 53 is 4 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 3, 3 by 4, 5 by 3 and 5 by 4. So these two new columns which you have to, these two are new columns which you have to remember. Rest you already know it. Okay. Now trigonometric identities. See, these identities you have studied in your junior classes. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Then we have this formula tan theta into cot theta is 1. Cot theta is equal to 1 upon tan theta. Tan theta is sine by cos. Cot is cos by sine. Sine into cosec is 1. So cosec is equal to 1 by sine हो जाता है. Cos into sec is 1 and sec is 1 by cos. 1 plus tan square is sec square theta. 1 plus cot square is cosec square theta. Cos square theta will be equal to 1 by sec square theta or 1 by tan. 1 plus tan square theta. So if you convert tan into cot, it will be cot square theta by 1 plus cot square theta. So similarly sine square theta in this form. So what you need to do, whatever formula is which is there, mentioned here, what you need to do, you just need to, whatever formula I have been writing now, you have to make a copy notebook. In that notebook, write all the formulas and then copy that formulas in a plain sheet of paper. Okay. And put this paper in front of your study table so that you have all these formulas written in front of your study table. The more you do these kind of activities, what it will do is basically it will help you concentrate, it will help you focus better. अगर आप अपने स्टडी टेबल के सामने ये सब को लगाते हैं, फॉर्मूलेज वगैरह को लिख के, फायदा क्या होता है कि जब आप स्टडी टेबल के सामने लगाएंगे तो जब भी आपकी नजर उस पर जाएगी और आप डीफोकस्ड हैं तो आपको एक सिनर्जी मिलेगा, एक एनर्जी मिलेगा आपको देख के समझने के लिए कि नहीं मुझे करना है ये, है ना, मेरे पास इतना ही टाइम है और इतने टाइम में ही करना है, जोर लगाना है, दम लगाना है बिल्कुल. तो ये सारी चीजें आप तभी कर पाएंगे जब आपका एक फोकस बना रहता है. एक साल तक आपको सारा चीज भूल जाना है. What you need to do is only focus on NEET. Forget about everything. Forget about what is happening in the world. That has nothing to do with your future. Okay? वर्ल्ड में क्या हो रहा है, ट्रम्प बाबू जीत रहे हैं या फिर मोदी जी हार रहे हैं, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है हम लोगों को. राइट? वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन what is going to affect you. What is going to affect you is your result. राइट? तो वो तभी होगा जब आप मेहनत करेंगे और आपको बस अपना मेहनत करते जाना, पढ़ते जाना है विदाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट द रिजल्ट. अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, रिजल्ट होगा ही होगा, दैट आई गारंटी. ओके, तो बाकी सब चीज के बारे में छोड़ दीजिए. सुशांत सिंह राजपूत एंड व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग इन बॉलीवुड, जस्ट फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. व्हाट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर इज जस्ट स्टडी. ओके, चलिए अब ये देखिए, क्वाड्रेंट होता है किसी भी ट्रिग्नोमेट्री में. चीजों को समझने के लिए आपको ये समझना जरूरी है कि देयर आर 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स इन ट्रिग्नोमेट्री. सो द होल प्लेन, दिस द सर्कुलर थिंग व्हिच आई सेड, देयर इज दिस एंगल 0 to 360 degree. This can be divided into 4 parts. Okay, so first is, this is your first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is your third quadrant, and this is your fourth quadrant, right? So this angle is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and then again 360 degree. Okay, now 90 degree can be also written as pi by 2, 180 degree can be written as pi, 270 degree can be written as 3 pi by 2, and 360 degree can be written as 2 pi. So in radians, if you want to write it, you can write it like this. Now, please understand, quadrant 1 is from 0 to pi by 2. Okay, pi by 2 to pi is quadrant 2, pi to 3 pi by 2 is quadrant 3, and 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi is quadrant 4. Okay. Now, you need to know that in which quadrant what trigonometric ratio is positive or negative. So we know that in first quadrant everything is positive, all trigonometric ratios are positive. So you need to remember only this: ASTC, add sugar to coffee. This means A stands for all, S stands for sine, okay, T stands for tan, and C stands for cos. So if cos is positive, sec will also be positive. यहाँ पे तो all ही है. If sine is positive, cosec will also be positive. Cosec क्या होता है? Reciprocal of sine होता है, तो ये भी positive हो जाएगा. If tan is positive, even cot is positive, right? So in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. Second quadrant, only sine and cosec are positive. Third quadrant, only tan and cot are positive. Rest all are negative. And in fourth quadrant, only cos and sec is positive. Rest all is negative. Is it clear to everyone? Now, so that's what is being written here as well. So if you see, sine and cosec are positive in the first quadrant as well as second quadrant, and negative in third and fourth. Cos and sec, we know that they are positive in first and fourth quadrant. Tan and cot, they are positive in first and third quadrant. And the pictorial representation of positive negative is shown here. Now, using this, there are certain formulas. So when I say 90 minus theta, see these formulas, you already know it in class 10. These are, complementary angles formula. Okay. In complementary angles, what happens is sine converts into cos. Sine 90 minus theta क्या हो जाता है? Cos theta के बराबर. Similarly, cos 90 minus theta becomes sine. Tan 90 minus theta will become cot. Cosec 90 minus theta sec बन जाएगा. Sec 90 minus theta cosec बन जाएगा. Cot 90 minus theta tan बन जाएगा. तो ये सारे हमारे ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज हैं जो आपको याद होने चाहिए. ठीक है, ये फॉर्मूलेज हैं. अब हम लोगों ने ये तो 10th क्लास में कर लिया था. अब 90 प्लस थीटा में क्या होगा समझने की कोशिश करें. सी when I say 90 plus theta means we are measuring angle from here. 90 मतलब यहां पहुंचा, प्लस थीटा मतलब यहां पहुंच गया. ये कहां पहुंच गया? ये 90 और ये थीटा है. 90 प्लस थीटा इज इन सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट. सेकेंड में क्या क्या पॉजिटिव होता है, कौन बताएगा मुझे? Which are the trigonometric ratios which are positive in second quadrant? So in second quadrant, we know that sine and cosec are positive, right? So that's why if you see sine and cosec, you will find, positive signs here. Rest all you will find negative sign. So here also you have negative, here also negative, here also negative, and here also negative. So only sine and cosec will have positive sign. Rest all of the trigonometric ratio will have negative sign. Okay, so that's why sine 90 plus theta, this becomes cos theta. Okay, cos 90 plus theta becomes minus sine theta. Tan 90 plus theta. So this conversion will be there. Sine becomes cos, cos becomes sine, tan becomes cot, cot becomes tan, cosec becomes sec, and sec becomes cosec. So these are the conversions which will be there. But apart from that, you have to take care of the signs as well. So the suggestion is to by heart it. right? Or if you can understand this, it is well and good. So understanding makes by hearting easy. If you understand it, then it becomes easy for you to by heart. Now let's come to other trigonometric ratios. 180 minus theta. So in this 180 minus theta, you will see, when I say 180 minus theta, so see, this is whole of 180 degree, and then minus theta means going clockwise. Anti-clockwise is positive and clockwise is negative. So 180 minus theta would be somewhere here in the second quadrant only. So second quadrant, we know that sine and cosec are positive. So you will see that sine and cosec, you will find positive values. और यहाँ पे चेंज नहीं करता है, साइन साइन ही रह जाएगा, कॉस कॉस ही रह जाएगा, टैन टैन ही रह जाएगा, कॉसेक कॉसेक ही रह जाएगा, सेक और सेक ही रह जाएगा, और कॉट कॉट ही रह जाएगा. So you will not find these changing. Each of these remain the same. So that means that all of this you just need to remember the signs. Rest everything remains same. मीन्स एग्जाम्पल में मैं बताता हूं, साइन 150 डिग्री का वैल्यू निकालना होगा, वी कैन राइट इट एज साइन ऑफ 180 minus 30. Sin 180 minus 30, we know that the formula is sin theta only. Sin 180 minus theta is sin theta. Sin 30 डिग्री हो गया, sin 30 डिग्री का वैल्यू 1/2 होता है, we can write it as 1/2. Is it clear? Is it clear बच्चों? क्लियर है बच्चों? Now in 180 plus theta, again if you see 180 plus theta, see this is 180 degree, and plus theta means you further go down in anti-clockwise direction only. This is 180 and then this is theta. So 180 plus theta will be in which quadrant? Third quadrant. In third quadrant, we know that only tan and cot are positive. So tan and cot you will find positive values, right? Here you will find positive values, rest all are negative. Now if we come to 270 minus theta, we know that in 90 degree and 270 degree, both of these places, that conversion happens. Sine becomes cos, cos becomes sine. ये दोनों जगह होगा, 90 पे भी होगा और 270 पे भी होगा. When I say 270 minus theta, this is 270 minus जाने में फिर हम जो clockwise चले जाएंगे. Anti-clockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. So 270 minus theta. This whole thing is 270 degree. And then this is theta. 270 minus theta is this angle. So this is in third quadrant. Again, tan and cot will be positive. Rest all are negative. And there will be conversion from sine to cos, cos to sine, tan to cot, cot to tan, sec to cosec, and cosec to sec. Now, again, if you see 270 plus theta, so this is 270 plus of theta, you will further go in the anti-clockwise direction only, right? So this angle becomes 270 plus of theta. Now 270 plus of theta, that means okay. So when I say 270 plus of theta, this comes in the fourth quadrant, right? In fourth quadrant, we know that what is positive? Cos and sec. So you will find cos and sec to be positive, rest all negative. And here also, because 270 degree angle is involved, so you will consider the conversion sine to cos, cos to sine, and so on. Okay. Then let's see 360 minus theta. When I say 360 minus theta, see this is whole of 360 degree angle. Minus theta, you will go back in this direction. 360 minus theta means this is in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, we know that in 180 degree and 360 degree, we don't convert sine into cos. Sine sine ही रह जाएगा, cos cos ही रह जाएगा. 360 minus theta fourth quadrant में है, तो cos and sec will be positive, rest all will be negative. Similarly, when I say minus of theta, see this in this direction, anti-clockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. So this will become minus of theta. Again in the fourth quadrant. Because it is in fourth quadrant, cos and sec will be positive, rest all will be negative. और यहाँ पे भी कोई conversion नहीं होता है, sin sin ही रह जाता है, cos cos ही रह जाता है, and so on. Okay. Now, ग्राफ ऑफ ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक फंक्शन यू जस्ट नीड टू नो कि दो ग्राफ बस जान जाओगे तो काफी है, साइन और कॉस वाला. साइन का ग्राफ क्या होता है, 0 से स्टार्ट करता है और मैक्सिमम कहाँ पे होता है, 90 डिग्री पे, π/2. सो ये जो साइनसॉइडल कर्व है, इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 0. एट 0 एंगल द वैल्यू इज 0, एट π/2 द वैल्यू इज इक्वल टू 1. पाई अगेन इट इज 0, and then at 3π/2 it is -1, and 2π again it is 0. So it varies from +1 to -1 in this way. Okay. And one particular, the whole period is equal to 0 say 2π. Again it will repeat. After 2π to 4π again it will repeat, and so on. It's a repetitive function or periodic function. Now cos x जो है, cos x हमें पता है cos 0 पे 1 होता है, मतलब 0 पे 1 हो जाएगा, π/2 पे 0 हो जाएगा, पाई पे -1, 3π/2 पे 0, 2π पे फिर से +1. So this is the whole one curve, one cycle basically, from 0 to 2π. Okay. So these are the two curves, two graphs which you need to remember. Y is equal to sin x graph is this, y is equal to cos x graph is this. Tan x is not very important for you guys. Now there are various formulas which you need to remember. Sin a plus b is sin a cos b, cos a sin b. Sin a minus b is sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. Cos a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. As I said, you need to write all these formulas and remember. Until unless you remember, it is very difficult. So where do you use this? Let's say I have to find the value of sin 15 degree. So what we'll do is sin 15 degree is sin of 45 minus 30. I can write it as sin 45 minus 30 is sin 15. Sin 45 minus 30 will be sin of 45 into cos of 30 minus of cos 45 into sin 30. Put the values now. Sin 45 is 1/√2. Cos 30 is √3/2. Cos 45 is 1/√2. Sin 30 degree is 2. So this is √3 minus 1 divided by 2√2. Why? Because the denominator is same. So this is equal to sin of 15 degree. समझ में आ गया आप लोग को? और भी कहीं कहीं पे यूज होता है बेसिकली. उसी तरह यू हैव दीज फॉर्मूलेस फॉर tan a plus b, tan a minus b and so on. Is it clear? I hope it is clear to everyone. Now double angle formulas, sin 2 theta is 2 sin theta cos theta. This is very useful. Okay. Similarly, cos 2 theta is cos square theta minus sin square theta. You have another formula 1 minus 2 sin square theta and another formula 2 cos square theta minus 1. Similarly, tan 2 theta. Now if you replace 2 theta by angle theta, Then here you have theta and cos theta. Here it will become theta by 2 and cos theta by 2. So this is, semi-multiple angles. So these are multiple angles and these are semi-multiple angles. Half of the angles basically. Similarly, these are two formulas which are very useful. 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta. Similarly, 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sine square theta. Now the value of any trigonometric function varies from -1 to +1. That we have seen in that graph also, right? The value varies from -1 to +1. So this is +1 and this is -1. So the value will vary from +1 to -1. Minimum value will be -1. Maximum value will be +1. Is it clear? Now, if the angle theta is small, then what we do is we can replace sine theta by tan theta or by theta. So sine theta is approximately equal to tan theta, and that is approximately equal to theta, which is in radians. And if theta is small, cos theta can be replaced by 1. Cos theta is approximately equal to 1. Now these are the basic rules, law of cosines and law of sine. So sine rule says, let's say we have this triangle ABC. So this is angle A, this is angle B, and this is angle C. Okay. So in angle A, B, and C, you will find that the side opposite to angle A, the length of that side is represented by small a. Side opposite to vertex B is represented by small b, the length of this. So length of this side is B, length of this side is A. And the side opposite to the vertex C is small c. So length of the side opposite to the vertex C is equal to C. So we have got the values A, B, and C. Okay. A by sine A. So A is the length of the opposite side. So A by sine A is equal to B by sine B is equal to C by sine C. This is equal to some constant K. So this you need to remember properly, right? Now law of cosine, this is the first law. Second law is law of cosine. Law of cosine, what does it say? That A square is B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A, or cos A is equal to B square plus C square minus A square by 2BC. So this is one formula, this is second formula, and this is the third formula, right? For cos A, cos B, and cos C. So here also you have to remember both these laws, law of cosine and law of sine. Now we'll do a basic of. So now we'll do a basic of functions and differentiation. So what does function means? So function is basically more of there are two kind of variables. One is dependent variable and other is independent variable. So a dependent variable, when it is written in terms of independent variables, we call it a function. So constant क्या होता है? वो जिनका की value change नहीं होता. For example, numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, these have constant values. The value is fixed. Similarly, pi also has a constant value. E means exponent. So this also has so this is Euler's constant. Pi is, we know that, the value of pi is 3.14 and so on. Approximate value is 3.14. Similarly, 22 by 7 is also an approximate value. और E का जो value है, this is approximately equal to 2.7. So pi has a value of 3.14 and E has a value of 2.71. These are all constants. So here the values are fixed. It does not change. Variable are those quantities whose value changes. So a quantity which have different values is called a variable quantity. Function क्या है? A quantity y is called a function of a variable if corresponding to any given value of x there exists a single definition value of y, definite value of y. तो अगर हम लोग कुछ इस तरह से लिखते हैं y is equal to fx, तो ये बेसिकली क्या हो गया? एक फंक्शन हो गया, फंक्शन ऑफ x. सो लेट्स से हमारे पास कोई फंक्शन fx इज इक्वल टू दे रखा है 3x square plus 7x plus 2. We have to find the value of the function at x is equal to 1. So what we have to do is value of function fx at x is equal to 1. So what we'll do is we'll replace x by 1. Wherever we have x, we'll replace it by 1. 3 into 1 square, 7 into 1 plus of 2. So this is 3 plus 7 plus 2. So 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 2 is 12. So f of 1 is 12. So value of the function at x is equal to 1 is 12. Similarly, if we have to find the value of function at x is equal to 2, we'll replace x by 2. So this will become 3 into 2 square, 7 into 2 plus of 2. 3 into 2 square means 3 into 4 is 12, 7 into 2 is 14 plus 2. 12 plus 14 is 26 plus 2, this becomes 20. So if you change the value of the variable, you get different values of the function. Now, what does differentiation means? Differentiation is the derivative of a function. What does it do? It determines the rate of change of dependent variable with respect to an independent variable. अच्छा, अभी आप लोगों को थोड़ा ये भी समझा दें. मान लीजिए हमारे पास ये फंक्शन है y is equal to 3x square plus 2x plus 1. So यहाँ पे x क्या हो गया? x is independent variable, क्योंकि इसका वैल्यू किसी पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है. एंड y इज डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. दोनों वेरिएबल हैं, बट y जो है डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है. क्यों डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है? क्योंकि ये x के वैल्यू पे डिपेंड करता है. x के डिफरेंट वैल्यूज पे ये y का वैल्यू डिपेंड करता है. क्लियर है? So x is independent variable and y is dependent variable. Now, differentiation, let's say by the definition, so consider a function y is equal to fx. By definition of a function, the variable y has a definite value for every value of the variable x. For every, so for different values of x, you will find different values of y here. x का value change करेंगे, तो y का value भी change करेगा. Now, suppose x changes from x to x plus delta x. Let us suppose कि हम x को चेंज करके x से x प्लस डेल्टा x कर दें, मतलब डेल्टा x से चेंज कर दें. ठीक है, तो ये चेंज हो गया. और y चेंजेस फ्रॉम y प्लस डेल्टा y, y टू y प्लस डेल्टा y. हम लोग y से y प्लस डेल्टा y में चेंज कर देते हैं, तो ये दूसरा चेंज हो गया. सो डेल्टा x एंड डेल्टा y आर स्मॉल इंक्रीमेंट. ये है क्या? डेल्टा x x में चेंज है, डेल्टा y y के अंदर चेंज. ठीक है, तो एवरेज रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x. सो बेसिकली एवरेज रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x, WRT मतलब विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x. तो चेंज इन y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x क्या होगा? डेल्टा y बाय डेल्टा x. ये चेंज इन y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x हो गया. Now to find the rate of change of y with respect to x, we write it as delta y by delta x. ठीक है. Now अगर delta x tend to 0 हो गया, मतलब delta x बहुत छोटा कर दो, धीरे धीरे कम करते जाओ delta x का वैल्यू, तो delta y by delta x को हम लोग क्या लिखते हैं, dy by dx लिख लेते हैं. So अगर हम delta x के वैल्यू को, if delta x tends to 0, मतलब delta x का वैल्यू इतना छोटा कर दो कि ऑलमोस्ट 0 हो जाए, तो उस समय delta y by delta x को dy by dx लिखते हैं. इस फंक्शन को हम लोग बेसिकली डेरिवेटिव कहते हैं. सो ये क्या हो गया, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x हो गया. dy by dx को कैसे पढ़ेंगे हम, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x. तो देखो यहाँ पे लिखा भी है, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ y विद रेस्पेक्ट टू x को कैसे पढ़ रहे हैं, dy by dx, जिसको हम लोग लिखते हैं लिमिट डेल्टा y by डेल्टा x where डेल्टा x tends to 0. So dy by dx which is equal to limit डेल्टा y upon डेल्टा x where डेल्टा x tends to 0. ठीक है. तो dy by dx एक सिंबल है किस चीज के लिए, रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ x और डेरिवेटिव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x, रेट ऑफ चेंज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x और डेरिवेटिव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x, उसको d अपॉन dx से हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. क्लियर है बच्चों? अब इसके बाद जो है ना थोड़ा सा लंबा है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, आज यहाँ पे वील स्टॉप इट हियर ओनली, और नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसके आगे हम लोग